You think you're brave, huh? Think nothing can shake you. There you are, sitting, curious, thinking it's just another scary story from the internet. Well, let me tell you something. You have no idea what you're about to hear, because this isn't just a story. It's not an urban legend. It's a real account, a sequence of events so absurd, so disturbing, that even I couldn't sleep after learning about it. And if you're smart, if you still care about your peace of mind, you should stop now. Close this video, this audio, this tab. But of course, you won't do that, right? You're here, curious, thinking you can handle it. Alright, then sit tight, because I'm going to tell you, it all started on a random night, in the middle of nowhere, in the United States. One of those nights when even the darkness feels heavier. You know, no moon, no stars. Just that strange, uncomfortable silence. Leo, yes, that's what he introduced himself as, was coming back from a work trip. He took a back road, one of those that barely shows up on the GPS. Little traffic, zero cell signal. Everything was perfect. Until it wasn't. While stopping at an abandoned gas station, something caught his attention. Near the broken pump, on the ground, there was a USB drive. Simple, black, a bit scratched, like someone had stepped on it multiple times. Along with it, a note, almost washed away by rain, written in a shaky hand. Do not listen. This is not just a recording. His first reaction, to throw it away. But of course, he didn't. Curiosity, right. That voice in your head saying, must be some prank. He put it in his pocket, finished refueling, and continued his trip. When he got to the hotel, he turned on his laptop, and there it was. A single file on the USB drive. The name, simple, direct, unsettling. Never open this.mp3. Now tell me, what would you do? Because he opened it. The audio started. At first, it sounded like just ambient noise. Wind, leaves, maybe footsteps. Some lost recording of someone walking in the middle of the forest. Who knows? But something was wrong. Very wrong. Because in the background, you could hear breathing. Not normal breathing. It was heavy, forced, like something was following whoever was recording. And then, a voice. Weak, but audible. You shouldn't be here. Leo said that. At that moment, he felt a chill. You know that cold shiver down your spine, like someone ran a cold blade across your back? Yeah, that dot. The recording got more intense. Sounds of quickening footsteps. Something scratching. Couldn't quite make it out. And, suddenly, silence. Not normal silence. It was absolute emptiness. For a few seconds, he thought the file was corrupted. But it wasn't. That's when, out of nowhere, a laugh appeared. A laugh he described as not human. Then, overlapping voices, languages he couldn't identify, whispers, strange words, until a phrase came through. Clear, sharp, like it was whispered right into his ear. You are being watched. Leo froze, looked around the hotel room. Nothing, but that feeling, that damned feeling, that someone was there. And that's when it began. The computer flickered. The screen went black for a few seconds. When it came back, everything seemed normal. Until he realized he wasn't alone in that room anymore. He swore he saw it. In the window's reflection, a shadow, still, behind him, watching. And if you think this is a joke, you're very wrong. Because from here on, things only get worse. Leo was motionless, paralyzed. He tried to find a rational explanation for what he had seen. Maybe a reflection, maybe fatigue, maybe. No, it wasn't that. The strangest thing was that, as soon as the shadow disappeared from the reflection, the recording stopped. Black screen, the file closed on its own. For a moment, he took a deep breath, tried to convince himself it was just a prank, a strange file, some kind of ARG, you know, those bizarre internet experiences. But no. The laptop shut down by itself and wouldn't turn back on. Leo looked at the USB drive, picked it up, and noticed something he hadn't seen before. On the side, scratched, as if someone tried to erase it. There was something carved into it, almost illegible, but you could make it out. He's awake. His heart raced. At that exact moment, he heard it. A knock, coming from the bathroom in the room. Dry, single, precise. He stood still, trying to process it. No one, absolutely no one was there but him. Another knock, louder, and then silence. Against all logic, Leo slowly got up, walked to the bathroom door, held the doorknob, took a deep breath, and opened it. Nothing, only, on the mirror, something was written, like someone had wiped their finger on the steam. But there was no steam at all. You've heard it now. You were part of it. He took a step back, desperate, grabbed the laptop, unplugged everything, threw it into his backpack, grabbed the USB, and left the room, without checking out, without looking back. He ran down the stairs. When he reached the reception, there was no one. Zero. The place was empty. No staff. No guests. He went to the main door, and it was locked, as if it had been locked from the inside. And that's when he realized, through the window, outside, everything was dark. But it wasn't normal darkness. It was thick, like the world outside simply didn't exist anymore. He tried his phone. No signal. The clock, showing 2:13 a.m., was frozen. No matter what he did, time had stopped. And then, again, Knock, Knock, 3 knocks, dry, coming from the back door of the hotel. If you think it's over, no it's not. Actually, it's just beginning. And you know what? I could even tell you to stop here. Turn it off, close it, pretend you never heard this. But it's no use anymore. You know why? Because, my friend, from the moment you heard this story, you're in, and now, it's part of you. Want proof? Look at the corner of your room. Take a quick glance. Don't stare too long. Just check. If you felt that chill crawling up your spine, don't worry. It's normal. Happens to everyone, at first. But let me tell you what happened next. Because Leo's story didn't end there. 3 days after arriving home, he started noticing things. First, sounds, scratches, footsteps, whispers, always at the edge of hearing. That kind of sound you're never sure if you actually heard, or if your mind is playing tricks. Then, the blackouts began. He was in his room, working on his computer. Blue screen, laptop restarts. And when it came back on, the webcam was on. By itself, recording, on the screen. Just one message: you are not alone. From that point, things spiraled out of control. Doors slammed by themselves. Objects moved. Lights flickered. But the worst, the absolute worst, was the feeling. You know, that certainty, that conviction that someone is watching you, even when you know you're alone. That became constant. Every second, everywhere. He tried to destroy the laptop, threw it on the floor, set it on fire. But the next day, he woke up, and there was the laptop, intact, on the table. With the file, always the same. Never open this.mp3, and the folder had duplicated. Now it wasn't just share_it, but it was also spread_it. And a new message, simple, raw. The more you share, the safer you are. Yes, Leo understood. He understood in the coolest way possible. That wasn't just a curse. It was a virus. A virus that didn't infect machines. It infected people. The more people listened, the more time you bought. If you tried to break the cycle, things started happening. And I'm not talking about light stuff. People disappearing, vanishing. There was a guy on a deep web forum. He tried deleting the file. That same night, neighbors heard screams, and the next day, only the house was found. Empty. Nothing. No furniture. No clothes. Like no one had ever lived there. Others tried to run away, sold everything, moved cities, countries. Result, they disappeared on the way. Witnesses say they saw them stop by the roadside, get out of the car, walk toward nothing, and never came back. and you think it's a coincidence. You think it's just a story. Then answer me. Seriously, answer me. Are your house lights flickering? Did you hear any knocks? Any scratches? If you haven't yet, great. Enjoy it, because they always start like that. You know what Leo did? He created a channel, started telling the story, started spreading it. At first, he thought it was just superstition, that he was going crazy. But then, the comments started. People from all over the world saying, "Man, after your video, I heard knocks on my door at 3 a.m. My dog won't stop barking at the empty hallway. I'm hearing a voice. It keeps saying, 'Open it, open it.'" And the creepiest part, people who said, "I never clicked the file. I just heard you tell the story. And it's already happening." Yeah, welcome. Now it's your turn. You think you're just listening to a story, right? Just a creepy tale to give you chills. But what if I told you this works the same way? Because the original audio doesn't even need to be played anymore. The curse now is in the story, in the tale, in your head. And from the moment you heard it, guess what? Knock knock. Knock. The knocks, always them. Wanna know if it already started for you? Silence. Total silence. Stop listening to everything around you and listen. If you hear 3 knocks, run. No. Worse, don't open. Are you ready? Asterisk. Because ... From now on, there's no turning back. You know that thing you thought was just a joke, just an urban legend. Yeah, ... It's not. Leo tried to run away, tried everything. Changed states, deactivated social media, threw away his laptop, threw away his phone. Tried to live like before, without anything digital. But the problem wasn't in the USB anymore. Not in the computer, not in the audio. It was in him. And now, it's in you too. On the 4th day, the knocks started happening at the same time. Always at 3:33 a.m. Precise, exact. 3 knocks, and then total silence. But on the 5th night, it wasn't just that. He woke up with the bedroom door open. Detail. He clearly remembered locking it. Twice. Padlock. Chain. Everything. On the floor. Marks. Footprints. But they weren't human footprints. 4 fingers. Long. Like claws. Scratches on the wood. And one more thing. ... A word. Written with something that looked burnt on the door. Open it. Leo freaked out. Ran out of the house. Went to the police station. Tried to explain. You know what the officer said? "Sir, this house has been empty for years. No one lives there." He didn't believe it. Went back there. And when he got there, ... The house no longer existed. It was just an empty lot. Weeds. Dirt. Nothing else. You know what that means, right? That thing didn't just want to scare. It wasn't just about hearing. It was about ... Erasing. Erasing you. Erasing your existence. Erasing any trace ... that you ever were here. And if you think it can't affect you, think again. Because on the 6th, NIGHT, Leo noticed something else. The knocks ... were no longer outside. They were inside. Inside ... The walls, whispers started. Disconnected phrases, unknown languages, but one phrase always came back. "Share it ... or join me." And that's when he understood the rule. The only way not to disappear is to pass it on. That's why he made videos. That's why he told the story. That's why ... I'm telling you now because every person who listens shares the burden. Each one who hears carries a piece of the curse. And as it spreads ... you buy more time. But if you keep it to yourself ... if you're smart, turn it off. Don't tell anyone. The thing comes. And when it comes, it's too late. You know what happens? You wake up, and the world doesn't recognize you anymore. Your name doesn't exist in records. Your number doesn't work. Your documents ... disappear. Your friends ... your family don't remember who you are. And in the end ... you're there, alone, in the dark, hearing ... those 3 knocks ... knock. K-N-O-C-K. Knock. And when you open your eyes, not even your own reflection in the mirror recognizes you. Leo, he disappeared, vanished completely. No one ever heard from him again. But you know what's left. The file. Always the file. The cursed file. And now, the question that won't go away. Will you share it? Or will you let it find you? Choose quickly. Because if you're listening to this it means it already knows you're listening. Since Leo disappeared, the file never vanished again. It circulates the internet like a digital plague, and now, also as a psychological terror. You thought listening to a story was safe, just entertainment. It's not. Every person who listens feels it. Every person who hears carries it. And the curse grows, spreads, and never stops. The three knocks. That whispering voice, the doors locking by themselves. The sound of scratches coming from the walls. They aren't just legends. They aren't just stories. It's real. And the scariest part, you're not alone. Never were. If you hear three knocks, don't open. No matter what. If you hear the voice, don't answer. If you feel a gaze, don't look back. Because when you turn around, you won't like what you see. And you know what's worse. There's no escape, no way to erase it, no way to deny it. The only choice you have is to share, pass it on, divide the curse. Because as long as you don't share, it gets stronger. And when it gets too strong, it will come after you. And it will take everything. Your home, your family, your existence, and all that will be left are the three knocks on the wall. Knock. Knock. And the darkness. Don't let it find you. Share this story, because now you're part of it, and this is your curse. Since the curse began spreading, Leo's story became a digital urban legend, but far more dangerous than any rumor. People who never heard the original audio started feeling its effects just by reading or hearing accounts of the story. Many report the constant feeling of being watched, footsteps that never arrive, whispers in the dead of night, and most of all the sinister three knocks echoing through the dark rooms of the house. A young man named Mark decided to investigate. He had heard the story on an online forum and, despite his fear, downloaded the file never_open_this.mp3. He said he was ready for anything, but when he started listening to the recording, something happened. The voice in the recording seemed to whisper his name, almost imperceptibly, and the knocks began echoing throughout his house. In the following days, Mark's life became a nightmare. Flickering lights, shadows moving at the edge of his vision, doors opening by themselves, and worst of all, his own reflection in the mirror began to distort, showing a face that wasn't his, pale, eyeless, and always smiling. Mark tried telling friends, family, even a priest, but no one believed him. To them, he was going crazy. To him, it was only the beginning. The curse wasn't just an audio. It was an entity, a virus that entered people, spreading fear and despair until it took control. And now, Mark faced the same cruel choice as Leo: share and divide the burden of the curse, or be consumed by it. He decided to record a video, shared everything he knew, everything he felt, and released it to the world. But before clicking publish, he heard the knocks. Knock. Knock. Mark knew time was running out. The entity didn't joke. It was patient, relentless. Every person who kept the secret became easy prey. On the night the video was published, Mark's house fell silent. Absolute silence. But the computer screen flickered, and the recording began playing by itself. Even though the video was already live, in the reflection of the monitor, Mark saw something. A tall, thin shadow standing behind him, watching. He turned, but there was no one. Only darkness surrounded him. Suddenly, a whisper. You can try to run, but it's no use. Share it, or join me. Mark didn't hesitate. Sent the video to thousands. Posted it everywhere. But that only delayed the inevitable. The next morning, the house was empty. No sign of Mark. On the computer, a new file appeared. you_can't_hide.mp3 and a blinking message on the screen. The game is not over. It has only begun. And now, you who listen to this story until here, will you share it? Or will you let the darkness consume you? Remember knock, 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 always the 3 knocks, always the same fate, after Mark's disappearance, the curse took on a new form. Now it wasn't just a digital file or a cursed recording. It was something that infiltrated minds, dreams, people's lives. Victims reported nightmares, impossible to forget, seeming more real than life itself. Dreams where a shadowy figure approached slowly, knocking 3 times, each knock making the world around darken a bit more. A woman named Sarah told that for weeks she woke exactly at 3:33 a.m., the same time as the knocks. Sometimes she saw the shadow standing at the foot of her bed. Other times, she heard the voice whispering to open the door. She tried fleeing the apartment, moved to another city, but the curse followed her. She said the file magically appeared on her phone, even after she deleted everything. Sarah contacted other cursed people, and they formed an online group to try to understand and fight the evil. But soon they realized, the more they talked, the stronger the entity became. The only rule they could confirm was cruel and clear: share or disappear. But one of them tried to break this rule. A woman named Emily decided to delete the file and lock herself at home, not talking to anyone. She disappeared within days. Her house was found with doors locked from the inside, and the only sound heard was the constant 3 knocks. The web was closing, and the darkness spared no one. At the height of the terror, reports became stranger and stranger. People lost track of time and space. Some said the entity manifested physically, appearing as shadows, shapes, or even grotesque deformations. A man named David reported seeing his own reflection in the window change into a faceless creature, smiling macabrely. Others spoke of demonic voices echoing through phones, even when turned off. The most terrifying were the mass disappearance reports. People who listened to the file and didn't share vanished without a trace, as if they never existed. And those who tried to warn the world disappeared too. The internet filled with mysteriously deleted pages, videos, and forums, as if someone or something was controlling everything. The curse wasn't just a file. It was a presence, a spiritual virus crossing digital and real boundaries. And here's the final point to the question in your mind now. What if you don't share? The answer is simple. You will disappear, and no one will notice. Because this entity erases everything. Memories, people, places, and leaves. Only ... silence ... and the 3 knocks ... knock ... knock ... asterisk. You just heard a story that goes far beyond ordinary fear. It's not just a scary tale. It's a curse that crosses the screen, invades your mind, and turns silence into deafening noise. Leo, Mark, Sarah, Emily, they were all part of this cycle, and now you are too. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, one thing is certain. After hearing all of this, you can no longer pretend it doesn't exist. With every click, with every share, the curse spreads. But with every silence, it grows stronger and deeper. And now the choice is yours. Will you share this story and lighten the burden? Or will you let it grow in the dark, slowly consuming you? If you had the courage to make it this far, congratulations. You're strong or crazy enough to face this truth. But don't stop here. Be part of the story. Like this video if you felt that chill. Comment below, "I'm not afraid," and prove you're ready to face it. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss the next stories that will mess with your mind. Share this video with someone who needs to hear or not hear this story. But beware. Don't say, "I didn't warn you." Remember, the 3 knocks never stop. Knock ... knock ... It could just be the wind. Or maybe not. Now. The darkness is closer than ever. Good luck if you manage to sleep. Asterisk.